It is a dangerous thing to rise against a true child of God. Yet, in this world, many people move about smiling on the outside while hiding dark intentions deep inside. Some of your enemies may sit beside you every day, pretending to care, pretending to celebrate your progress, but behind closed doors, they are plotting to stop your light from shining. They secretly gather sand from trees, rivers, crossroads, and call your name into it, trying to tie your life down. They think you won't notice, that you'll keep crying and wondering why things keep falling apart. You've asked yourself why your opportunities slip away, why relationships collapse, why you face strange problems that no doctor can explain. These things are not accidents, they are signs of spiritual warfare. There are people who cannot stand to see you rise, so they take your name to dark places, shrines, altars, or gatherings of wicked spirits to bury your destiny. But you do not have to remain trapped. You have carried pain, betrayal, and delay for too long, pretending to be strong when your spirit feels buried under the weight of invisible chains. They buried your name in the sand, hoping you'd never rise again. But this is the moment to rise, to send everything back to where it came from. If they used sand to trap you, you will use the same sand to break free. This is not an act of hate, it is a call for divine justice. When you do it with faith for 3 days, everything they sent your way returns multiplied. The plans made against you will be exposed. Those responsible will either confess, be revealed for who they truly are, or face the destruction brought by their own hands. This is the truth they fear you learning, because once you understand it, the power they used loses its hold. Have you noticed how some struggles seem to never end, no matter how much you pray? Maybe someone buried your spiritual essence long ago, and your soul has been silently crying for release. Now you are about to learn a secret that was always before you, the sand beneath your feet. It is not just soil, it is a powerful element used for deliverance, restoration, and victory. This is your time to rise from the dust and shake off every curse that has followed you. Once you grasp this truth, you'll no longer walk as a victim, but as one who knows their authority. There is something about sand that many people, even the faithful, have forgotten. In the unseen world, it carries great power. It can be used for good or for evil. Witches and dark spiritual workers understand that sand holds the mark of a person, his steps, his presence, his life path. Humanity was created from the dust of the earth. That is why it carries our essence. When the wicked take sand from where you walked, from your home, or even from your clothes, and bury it while speaking your name, they are not merely performing a ritual. They are building a spiritual prison from the earth itself, designed to trap your destiny. But what they forget is that the same sand that can hold a curse can also release a blessing. The same earth that carried your pain can carry your freedom. When commanded with the authority of divine power, the sand can respond to your words and return everything meant to harm you back to its source. There is a reason the prophets of old touched the ground when they prayed, and why it is written that the Lord once wrote upon the sand. These were not simple gestures. They were spiritual acts connected to the power of creation itself. The sand listens. It reacts to voice, to breath, to intention. When you pick it up and speak words of faith, you awaken a divine system of justice already present within creation. What others do in darkness, you can undo in the light. What they buried can be raised again. What they sealed can be broken. The same earth they used to bind you will release you when commanded in truth. The power within you is greater than anything they used to keep you down. Sometimes people feel strange when stepping on sand that has been used for dark purposes. They may feel weak, dizzy, or uneasy, because that ground carries the energy of bondage. But when a person of faith rises and speaks to it, that power is broken. This is not about fear or superstition. It is about authority. You are not pleading for help. You are commanding creation to align with justice and to reject every wicked voice that once spoke against you. If you've had dreams of walking through dust, losing your shoes, being covered by earth, or being pulled down into the ground, these may be signs that your spirit has been bound in that realm, but you can reverse it. The moment you gather clean sand with the purpose of breaking free, you begin a powerful act of spiritual resistance. Each grain of sand becomes a witness, a record, or a weapon, depending on how you use it. When activated through faith, it calls upon divine power to execute justice. No altar, no curse, no spell can stand against it. Many people suffer because they never speak to creation. They pray but forget that the world itself was made to respond to the voice of faith. The elements remember who created them and still await the command of those walking in divine authority. When you speak to sand, you are not talking to dust. You are addressing one of the oldest elements of existence, and when spoken with truth and belief, it will obey. If those who oppose you had the courage to bury your name, then you must have the courage to uncover it. When you declare freedom, the same ground that held your name captive will turn against those who misused it. Sand hears the voice of divine power through your voice. When you speak, it will rise as a witness. It will resist every evil intention, and it will swallow their plans. The same pit they dug for you will become their own. When you rise to speak over sand with wisdom and faith, your words carry the weight of judgment. Your voice becomes a flame of truth. The chains of confusion, delay, and shame begin to break. The people who plotted in secret will feel exposed without knowing why. You do not need to chase them or fight them in the flesh. The earth itself will testify on your behalf. That is the power hidden in something so ordinary, something people walk on every day without realizing its mystery. The very dust they use to curse you is waiting to lift you up. You were never meant to remain buried. You were meant to rise. And when you finally rise, every lie spoken against your name will fall to the ground, powerless. Do it for 3 days, not by chance or out of fear, but with courage and divine direction. Because when you use sand with spiritual guidance, even the forces of darkness will tremble. The act must begin on the day when your heart feels deeply stirred, when you've had enough of every chain holding you down, and you're ready to step into freedom. On the first day, rise early before sunrise. Wash your face and hands with clean water while declaring that you are washing away every link to evil covenants and dark connections. Step outside barefoot if you can. Touch the ground and gather a small handful of clean, dry sand into a bowl or a container. Hold it in your hand and speak to it with authority. Say, "Every curse buried in the earth with my name, every evil altar built against me through sand, today I cancel your purpose. As I return this sand to the earth, every work of darkness goes back to its sender." Speak boldly. Mention the struggles you've faced, loss, betrayal, sickness, delays, and command every hidden curse to break by the power of light. Then walk to a tree, riverbank, or quiet open place and pour the sand back onto the ground while facing the east. Don't turn back. Walk away quietly without looking behind you. On the second day, repeat the act again, but this time declare that the sand will confuse every evil eye watching you, every spirit monitoring your steps, and every familiar force tied to your destiny. Say, "As I release this sand, I scatter their gatherings. I blind their sight and dry up their altars." Wherever my name was buried, may their own hands be consumed by the fire of truth. As you speak, gently shake the sand in your hand to show that you are shaking off every form of bondage. Do not perform this act with fear. Your voice must carry faith and confidence, as one who knows that the powers of darkness are shaking. Go again to a different open place and release the sand while speaking judgment with calm authority. On the third day, the spiritual process reaches its highest point. Wake early again, anoint your forehead and feet, and hold the sand one last time. Speak over it with firm conviction. Declare, "As I return this sand to the ground, let every secret enemy be revealed. Let hidden works come into light. Let every dark plan made against me collapse and return upon those who sent it. I bury their evil under this earth and seal it with divine fire." This is the day when many people begin to notice changes. Unusual dreams where snakes are defeated, people from the past confessing, or those who once plotted harm now becoming weak and begging for forgiveness. After pouring out the final sand, go home quietly and anoint your doorway with oil or clean water. Avoid gossip or unnecessary talk that day. Stay calm, worshipful, and quiet. This act is not witchcraft. It is a spiritual reversal of evil intentions using one of the oldest creations of God, the earth itself. The ground was never meant to bury your destiny, but to hold your blessings. When the 3 days are complete, give thanks for your victory. Thank God for uncovering your enemies, for lifting your name from the dust, and for turning the plans of darkness back toward those who made them. Do not keep checking for results. They will appear in their time. Just as trouble once came silently, your victory will arrive loudly. Some will call you crying. Others will dream of you standing strong before them. Some may avoid you completely, realizing they can no longer touch you. This is how sand works in spiritual matters. Quietly, powerfully, and directly. You have taken what was meant for destruction and turned it into a tool for deliverance. Once done with faith and understanding, this act changes your spiritual atmosphere forever. You will no longer live as before. You will walk with new boldness, knowing that every grain of sand beneath your feet now carries your authority. You will move with confidence, knowing that the power of creation is on your side, and your enemies can no longer hide their dark deeds in secret places, because now you have learned how to return every evil plan back to its source. After completing the 3-day sand prayer, the spiritual world begins to shift with clarity and force. Many people begin to have dreams where those behind their pain appear restless, confused, or asking for forgiveness. Some witness strange signs, like snakes dying, birds falling from the sky, or hidden people revealing their true nature. These are not coincidences. They are signs that the sand has begun to carry out judgment. Often people who once pretended to be harmless will suddenly distance themselves, speak nervously, or confess what they've done. Their words betray them, and their own secrets begin to follow them. Others have shared that those who once fought them boldly became weak, sick, or spiritually exposed, haunted by the same spirits they once used against others. When you send back what was buried, the forces once meant to harm you return to face their senders. You may receive unexpected apologies, strange messages, or open confessions. Those who once worked in shadows can no longer hide. Their protection is gone, and they know it. Some will appear in your dreams asking for forgiveness. Others may try to confuse or bribe you to reverse what was done. Do not fear or waver. Once this has been done under divine instruction, the judgment cannot be undone by evil hands. Stay in prayer, keep silent, and remain watchful. During this time, your spiritual awareness will grow stronger. You'll sense truth more clearly, notice energy shifts, and discern the hearts of people around you. Where darkness once dominated, light now shines. Those who try to overpower you spiritually will feel your presence and withdraw. The same sand that was once used to trap your life now works for your freedom, carrying your voice and divine justice wherever it falls. Within a few days of finishing, you may hear of sudden exposure, arrests, or confessions of those who wronged you. Some may fall ill or face the consequences of their own deeds, not because you wished them harm, but because divine balance has been restored. The earth itself responds to justice. When creation is used against an innocent soul, that same creation rises to defend it. That is why after this process, testimonies begin to flow. People report unexpected job offers, restored peace in their homes, legal victories, healed bodies, and long-awaited breakthroughs. What once felt delayed suddenly begins to move. Finances start improving, health recovers, and heavy burdens lift. It is not coincidence or luck, it is divine order. You have reclaimed what was stolen, you have unearthed what was hidden, you have turned curses into blessings. The results speak for themselves. The fear of God falls upon those who once sought your downfall. They now realize you've tapped into divine understanding that reveals secrets and destroys wicked plans. From this moment forward, the spiritual world recognizes your voice. The earth remembers you. The ground now works on your side, and your enemies will never forget the day they tried to bury you but ended up facing the pit they dug themselves. Now that you understand the mystery of sand and its power in the spirit, take a moment to look inward. Ask yourself how long you have endured what was never meant for you. How many years have you suffered quietly while others rejoiced over your buried destiny? How many times have you prayed and fasted without realizing that something as simple as the earth beneath your feet could hold the key to your freedom? This is your awakening. This is the moment your eyes open not only to the presence of your enemies, but to your true strength. You are not powerless. You are not forgotten. You are not defeated. You are a warrior with divine authority over creation. The very fact that you now understand how to use sand in prayer shows that your season of training is complete. You've been prepared for this. Your struggles, your pain, your losses, none of them were in vain. They were part of your preparation, shaping you for greater power and deeper wisdom. What was meant to destroy you only revealed your true strength. Now you rise not only with faith, but with understanding. You rise carrying scars that speak of victory. And you rise with a spiritual authority that no one can take from you again. Weapons come in many forms, and sometimes the strongest one is not the loudest prayer, but the most deliberate action. Speaking to sand might appear strange to a natural mind, yet in the realm of the spirit, it is a bold declaration of dominion, a sign that you refuse to let the enemy twist what God designed for your blessing. That is why you must never return to those days when you pleaded for love, when you explained yourself to those secretly wishing for your downfall, or when you confused spiritual delay with simple bad luck. Now you understand better. Now your eyes are open to see that not all delays are harmless. Some are invisible traps placed in your path to stop your growth, but you have broken free, and now you must walk differently. It is time to stop hiding your fire, to stop silencing your light, to stop apologizing for your divine gift, and to stop shrinking yourself just to fit into places you were born to lead. This sacred act with sand has awakened something ancient and powerful inside you, something that was once buried but never died. And now that it has been brought back to life, your enemies will not rest easy again. For when a child of God awakens with knowledge, darkness begins to tremble. You have become a true spiritual weapon, a voice of justice against wicked altars, and a living sign of God's promise that those who dig pits for others will fall into them themselves. Guard this change. Protect it, feed it, strengthen it, and teach others what you have found. This awakening is not for you alone. It is for your bloodline. Your freedom builds their tomorrow. Your boldness becomes their covering. Your words now sound like a trumpet in the spiritual realm. Walk with that confidence, speak with that power, and never again return to spiritual blindness. Now rise and speak these words with strength and faith in your voice. Not as someone hoping for release, but as someone certain that freedom has already been claimed. Say these words: I stand upon this earth as one who carries the authority of heaven. I speak to every grain of sand that was used against me, to curse, to bury, to delay, or to harm my destiny. Hear the voice of God through me, and reject every evil command spoken against my name. I command you, O sand, to turn into a weapon of judgment against every wicked altar lifted up in my name. Let those who buried my destiny in darkness be revealed by the light. Let every sorcerer, every deceiver, every dark worker who used the sand to harm me fall into their own trap. I declare reversal. I send back every curse to the sender. Let their evil multiply back upon them. Let their rituals fail. Let their monitoring spirits lose sight. Let their wicked hands become powerless. Let the tongues that spoke evil fall silent. Let their secret gatherings scatter by divine fire. I call the sand to carry my cry, my decree, and my vengeance. Pause and sense that authority rising inside you. These are not mere words. This is your spirit stepping into warfare. Continue. I reclaim my name from every grave. I uncover my light. I take back my voice, my health, my wealth, and my destiny. As I hold this sand, I hold a sign of dominion. As I release this sand, I release judgment. No weapon designed against me shall stand. No spell or divination shall take hold of my life. From this day, I declare that the earth will cooperate with my destiny. The ground will bring forth blessings for me. My steps will lead to favor and overflow, and no one shall ever bury me again in body or in spirit before my appointed time. I now declare I cancel every dark instruction written in the dust. I erase every evil contract sealed with soil. I destroy every burial ritual performed with my name, my picture, my hair, or my clothing. I call divine fire upon every evil power that rose from sand. Let heaven overturn every dark judgment spoken against me. Let confusion strike the camp of my enemies. Let their strategies crumble into dust. Let the same ground they used against me become the ground of their defeat, and let every mouth that mocked me fall silent forever. This is the final blow, your seal of divine warfare. Speak it with faith and power. From this moment, I walk in authority. From this moment, I speak and creation responds. From this moment, my enemies will tremble at the mention of my name. And from this moment, I decree that whoever rises against me or my household will face their own downfall. It is written, and it is finished. Back to the sender, in the name of the Most High God. Remain still for a moment after saying these words. Allow your spirit to absorb what your voice has just released. This is not imagination. It is a weapon of the Spirit. And now that you have activated it, the war has turned in your favor. Let the sand speak on your behalf now that you have walked through this journey of awakening, warfare, and restoration. Do not keep this revelation hidden. Too many are suffering in silence, fighting invisible battles, facing attacks they cannot explain, losing ground without knowing why. You have been given this understanding not only for your safety, but to help others find freedom too. Someone right now has their destiny buried beneath sand, their progress trapped under a curse, their voice silenced by unseen chains, and they are crying for help without knowing the cause. You can be the one to bring them light. You can open the door of deliverance for them. Do not hold back. Share this message with your family, your friends, your prayer circles, even with those who once doubted your faith. Let them realize that the same sand beneath their feet holds power when awakened by divine instruction. Let them hear truth, and when you do, remind them not to treat this lightly. Tell them to prepare spiritually, to follow every step carefully, and to trust God completely through the process. This is not superstition, nor is it a passing trend. It is divine wisdom that has set countless people free through the ages. If you feel fire stirring in your heart right now, it is no coincidence. God is awakening your spirit because you have been chosen as a guardian for your generation. You are the one to break the patterns. You are the one who will not die small, silent, or hidden. You are the one who will reverse every arrow launched by jealous relatives, false friends, or wicked co-workers. You must be ready and equipped. So do not just watch again. Let the words enter your soul. Let the truth take root. Once you complete the act, share your testimony. Tell your story in the comments so others can gain strength. Speak of the dreams that changed, the breakthroughs that came, the peace that followed.